Okay, this is July 24th, 2011, and this is a report for Nebraska. Currently, Missouri at Decanter is at 38.9 feet. And here's a picture of where the gauge is at. So at 38 feet, extensive flooding along the reach would encounter areas. Impact would include Marina Drive, as well as numerous homes along the river. If it goes up to 44 feet, widespread major flooding would be prevailing along the entire reach, just upstream from Decanter, downstream to the mouth of the Little Sioux River. So anything above 35 feet, they consider flooding. Right now they're at moderate flood stage. Missouri River near Blair is currently at 31.69 feet, and it's at moderate flood level. Here's a map of where the gauge is located. I'll zoom in a little bit for you. Okay. And then, so we're at, 31, between 31 and 35. This is the highest impact that they have. If it reaches 33.5, water reaches levels not seen since 1952. Significant flooding will be occurring from Blair to Fort Calhoun. Now at 30 feet, which they're above now, floodwaters will impact Interstate 29 and areas north of Crescent and the Interstate 680 interchange. This is all stuff that's already happening. At 26.5 feet, flooding occurs in the Fort Calhoun area. See that? This flooding impacts several homes and includes County Roads 34, 47, and 51. In addition to the evacuation of numerous homes has occurred due to the closure of these roads. When it was 25 feet, minor flooding occurred at Fort Calhoun Trailer Park. And we all know they got almost 3 feet of water there at Fort Calhoun. Okay, at 23.5 feet, flooding begins to occur at Winson Island State Park. Missouri River at Omaha, but up here it says 35.97 feet. And that's the highest it's ever been, it looks like. So that is a major concern for the Fort Calhoun nuclear power plant. Here's a satellite map of where the gauge is located. Okay, so here we're at 32 feet right now. And it says Interstate 680 west between Mormon Bridge and Interstate 29 begins to flood. Also, Interstate 29 between Crescent and Council Bluffs began to flood. Now it's a lot higher. It's at 35.97 feet. So at 30, it's almost 36 feet. This is what to expect. Water reaches the bottom of the flood wall just north of Interstate 480. A bike path and low-lying roads are also affected just east of Riverfront Drive, north of the pedestrian bridge. Okay, and here's an update for Omaha. As of 2 o'clock, it's almost 3 o'clock, but it has risen. It's 36.2 feet now, and that was read at 2:30 p.m. So it's rising dramatically. If it goes to 40, at this level, the water nears the top of the federal levee. Now you notice I don't see anything mentioning Fort Calhoun like the other one does. At 29 feet, most parks and boat accesses near river begin to flood. So they're already flooded because we're at almost 36 feet. At 25 feet, Hayworth Park, located in Bellevue, began to flood. 27 feet. NP Dodge Park, Heartland of American Park, Playland Park in Fortelli Forest was flooded, or began to flood. And it says at 28 feet, significant lowland flooding occurred at NP Dodge Park, Heartland of America Park, Playland Park, Fratelli Forest, and Hayworth Park. But like I said, where's Fort Calhoun on this thing? So here's the Missouri River at Plattsmouth. Current level is 35.52 feet, and it's rising. See, it seems to be higher than it was in the past. Here's the satellite view. So the flood impact only goes up to 33 feet. It says portions of Highway 34 and several county roads between River and Interstate 29 would be closed due to flooding. In addition, homes along the Nabraska side began to be impacted. Water treatment plant roads are flooded. Campgrounds off the River Road about 1.5 miles downstream of the gauge begins to flood. So at 27 feet, minor flooding was occurring in parking lots near the gauge site, boat ramps, in addition to private camping areas just upstream from the gauge site began to flood. And at 26 feet, fields west of Dock Road were flooded. I said it only goes to 33 feet, and it has risen to 35.52 feet. And I believe that's the highest it's ever been. Missouri River near Nabraska City. It says here 24.17 moderate flood stage. And it's rising. Satellite view of where the gauge is. Now this is as of 1:45 p.m. on July 24th, Sunday. Projected damage. If it goes up to 25.5, Highway 2 would be closed. In addition, First Street in Nabraska City near the gauge site floods. At 23 feet at Nabraska City, a grain elevator, fertilizer bulk storage and shipping facility, and portions of the wastewater treatment plant are impacted by floodwaters. When it was just 22.5 feet, Highway 2 on the Iowa side would be impacted. 18, widespread lowland flooding had begun, and when it was just 15 feet, the left bank overflowed into some croplands. And it looks like they're expecting it to rise. So right now it's at moderate flood level there at Missouri River in Nabraska City. Okay, Brownville, which is the Cooper nuclear power plant, currently at 38.97 feet. And looks like they're expecting it to rise. And that's as of 2 o'clock this afternoon. Now see all the floodwater we got right now up in South Dakota. It's all going to be going downriver today. So I would think maybe it would rise even more. We're having a lot of storms up here today. So here's the satellite map of where the gauge is at. Here's what you can expect for damage when it was just 33 feet. Lowlands on both sides of the bank began to flood. 39.5 access roads to the power plant began to flood. Now this one mentions, the power plant. At 40.5, approximate level, which Cooper nuclear plant begins flood preparations. At 43 feet, a portion of the federal levee along the Missouri side will be near overtopping. If overtopped, this flood would impact a significant portion of Highway 29 and Highway 136. And at 44 feet, water near the top of federal levels or levees on both sides of the river. So at 40.5, it says they begin preparation, probably shutting down. So we're at 38.97 feet now. Okay, at Missouri River at Rouleau is currently 24.46 feet. And that's moderate flood level. Satellite view of the gauge, where the gauge is at. So at 17 feet, the left bank overflowed into agricultural lowlands. 21 feet, several riverfront cabins and possibly a cafe in the area are known as Camp Rouleau flood. At 22 feet, Big Lake on the Missouri side is threatened with floodwaters. So at 27 feet, widespread flooding will encompass a very large area, and some of the federal levees are nearly overtopped. If overtopped, this flooding will impact Highway 159 and several county roads west of Interstate 29. At 30.5 feet, widespread flooding ensures an additional levees begin to overtop. When they start going overtop, because these are just earthen dams, and they're not even clay, evidently. And yeah, they're in big trouble. And like I said before, the Corps of Engineers has issued a warning to everybody to stop being complacent. So it sounds like they're expecting more levees to break, because they brought that up, and a lot more flooding. So currently, like I said, Rouleau was at 24.46 feet as of 2 p.m. July 24th. Okay, the gauge level at Gavin's Point Dam is 1,205.3 feet, and that was read at 12 a.m. July 24th. Missouri River at Gayville is currently 56.65 flood stage. And I showed this also earlier today under South Dakota. There's the satellite map. Anything over 55 feet is considered flood stage. Alright, Big Sioux River at Sioux City. It says 100.56 feet flood stage. Satellite map. Okay, at 99 feet, agricultural land north of the leveed area begins to flood. At 105, most of the storm drains are submerged. Not good. At 108 feet, sandbagging is needed to protect Interstate 29 from flooding. And then at 110 feet, it would be lower levees in the Iowa Riverside community are in danger of being overtapped, if not sandbagged. And currently 100.56 feet. Okay, a new alert for Little Sioux River at Correctionville, 17.12 feet. That's probably from all the storms we're having up around here today. Here it says expecting it to go down to 16.9. Okay, there's the satellite map. So we're at 17.2, 13 feet, low left bank of the river overflows with minor flooding in some low-lying areas for agriculture. Okay, at 19 feet, some homes and businesses southwest of the gauging location will begin flooding. And then it goes up higher. Alright, so there you got it for about 2 o'clock, July 24th. Bookmark our site. I'll keep you up to date. Stay safe, and God bless.